First line, second line.
And I think that's when he started getting out of hand.
What usually happens is that obviously then transpires throughout the night. It comes back to him, yo, Itumeleng Selepe.
Until that day, I signed a contract with Satan.
Each one, got to teach one. Let's learn from one another. Let's go.
Now I'm Itumeleng Selepe. I'm 36 years old. I'm the firstborn in a family of 3 kids. I grew up with both parents, a principal and a teacher. My parents were, they taught good values. My dad was a hard worker, my mom was a hard worker. And they wanted nothing but the best for them. Yeah, family I what is a good boy, but I could say I grew up prefect because I was an average student. So I got my colors, scaling, in soccer, swimming. I was a black swimmer, yes I was. Rugby, cricket, yeah, you name it, I've tried every sport. Then I went to high school, Polokwane, Capricorn High School. Now, this is where life, if I could call it, starts now. So that's when I started the smoking and drinking. Smoking and drinking, I started out of, it was just kinoratadilo, and it looked cool. My first drunk experience, Kiluko Savannah Shopping Center, there was a bush next door, grade 8 now. My first weekend there. I remember there was a friend of mine, Rigile, 15 rand, because I was the one watching it, because one control. Get into the bush, we're getting liquid courage now. Because we want to go into the mall and get the ladies. So we're drinking. But the manager came, you get to a point on a run. It happened again. So now I'm 14 now. So can you see already the abuse starting in terms of car substance? I left the school and I went back home to Francis High School. Now I'm waiting back to Palabora. I'm still out of line, but it's subtle now. When I get just being a boy, that's what I thought. That's what you think. Na kitile mo Josie mo Johannesburg ka 2004 ka enrolla UJ. So ba ntlisitse ikile le parents tsa tseba. Ke a bola ba drop off Braamfontein. So Braamfontein, understand this. We give you like the street, there was a Barika Hospital Street. Hospital Street separates Hillbrow and Braamfontein. So already I'm a small town boy, ke tla mo Josie. And then the first place ke tlo blow mangona ke street away from Hillbrow. Ba no re ba tloga. 5 minutes later, we were on a spot to go fat. Arabaken. I got a lot of the Black J2. How my drugs addiction or drugs started was recreational. The restaurant isn't there anymore. Maybe it's our Ryan Hotel. If you know Braamfontein, you'll know it. Ryan Hotel, and there was this pub downstairs. So we're watching the Springboks play. So the guy is sitting opposite me. Upper suit. I don't know, like he's the manager of the place. I feel it, you know. I get a student. I wanna draft the shit if you clean. I'm like, and then barman Dintang, I don't know, from the gentleman there. I know shop, brother. We finally get acquainted. The game finishes and I see him again the next weekend. Pele nna ke nwa le Dimana a tago. Ke magetse pele ke motse ke re monagane wa wena o sa tago. Damana re o shoshonyo go tseba ka re sharp. So since he's a manager ya the place, we went upstairs. And like a big mirror so, ikana so. Watch this white bag and he takes in the mirror, one the bag and he takes out the whole thing and then one the karate J2 chops it up, takes out a note. I remember it was a 50 note. Wire roller. And then first line, second line. I'm like, no, I've only seen the stuff on TV. I'm like, no. We go back for the second half. So when you go back again after the game, get okay, cool ball. I don't like a try. I remember taking this line now. Baby that cat, the drug. First, I blew out because now I'm burning. My nose is burning. Blew it out, but you can still feel it. And the guys are shouting, "What am I bro?" Because now I waste. Do you think I get like a t-shirt? Straight I came walking against a wall basically when I was coming up there. By the time it gets what hey, I was here. And that night was just spent on binging. Feeling your first line or just of being high. Like it's a real, you elevate to another level. It almost isn't kind of elevate and makes you superhuman. We born a different man. I get no in this game, the euphoria of it. It is Mara, don't get it wrong. Woman in the beginning, woman at the moment tomo. Mara, it's a feeling at all. Here I was superhuman. Can't that day because I need a contractless Satan. I would do so much that you would look at me here and you'll literally see my heartbeat.
You just look dirty. I can still not happen now.
Let's learn from one another. Let's go. Let's learn from one another. Let's go.
So my first job is getting tiles. And then one day this one guy walked in. He said he wants to renovate his whole house. 2 months later, he's like, no, Dimi, you know what? Are you happy? I'm like, no, I'm not happy. Okay, I've got an opportunity for you. I'm like, why? He says, no. I felt 94.7. I was in the marketing department, but mainly prizes. So, you know, people who win prizes, I was one who's dispatching them. When I packs you, gradi ticket, I want things are gradi ticket, bro. Nah, I make a bicycle on the premises. So, I can prove our value, the ticket legit. So, what the client in go office in go reception, I write the exchange right there. Yeah, the next day I was called in the office, like meter, and then I lost that job. So my third job go for ways. I'm working with somebody, I never let MTN, we're working under music and lifestyle. We're supposed to go do a site visit for the summer awards. Do me on the Sunday, get high. I'm visiting a friend in Newtown. I hit the first curve, I'm leaving at 10 o'clock. Sharp Bruaga. As I hit the first curve, bloop, there's this roadblock. 4 days, bruh. And then they test me, and it's ridiculous. 10 point or 15 point something. They didn't search me. I still had one bag in the cell I was still taking. Now remember, there was a whole bus waiting for me, and I'm in jail. So I called the office. I'm like, guys, I'm arrested. Yeah, when I came back, it was sorry, bad. Kadi drugs. This is how it works now. You are a recreational user. until one day, I don't know what happens. Now I can say maybe but explain. You're no longer a recreational user. Your body's telling you, hey bro, shot something. KB was the guy. Like we were doing lines in Discovery. McDonald's,
Itumeleng and I have literally been friends for, should I say, 14 years. Our weekends will literally be chill at a certain place, we go to a certain club. At a club, we go to a dealer. What usually happens is that obviously then transpires throughout the night. And then only on Sunday, it comes back to you, but that was literally a practical weekend, yeah, like a drug addict.
My actual amount that I spent in the 11 years is $1 million. I was using 3,000 a week over 4 months, which is a month, that's 12,000. Over a year, that's 140, 150, 160,000. And if you count it over 11 years, 10 years, that's $1 million.
I literally spent 25 grand in 4 days. That's, I think, one of my worst memories.
Hunadi used to be my girlfriend in grade 4. Became a good friend of mine. Even in Joburg, we are still very close.
He'd call me at some point. He's broke. He's driving around in a Merc. And I'm like, yeah, man. I don't know, unyoko rumela CV, guy, unyaka 200, you know? Envelope brown, dirty. So he was lying, and I could see it. And you'd go to another friend and do the same. Even rock up at her office.
All this time, it's just conning, telling people I have interviews, petrol, this and that, phone, phone.
And he had lost weight. As a khatlishi man. He was very skinny. He just looked dirty. I could still not happen.
I was half the size. I was tiny. You don't eat again. I want appetite. My lungs are caving in. Basically, my whole body is just a mess.
He had mastered being high that I didn't even see that he was different. And I would be in the car with him. He would drive. At the time, Ali High. He's like, yeah, they're following us. I'm like, who? He's like, can't you see? They're gonna hijack us. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then he'd be like, yo, they almost killed us. I'm like, womang. So now it made sense, or he was high.
You do sit and unahana gore didn't we dia nga se yona. Mara go bone. We nagana during the week using resting thinking. So you think about it one day. Like, what is one day gonna do to change your mindset of thinking?
You also lost out on opportunities then, I think.
Like, you created the opportunities to do but things we did not see. Like, for example, I think I got hired at one company. I came in so high. It was the shortest time I got 80 man, I got 10 past 8. While I get to go and what must I do with my life? Yeah, I'm the first rehab again. So I get the first rehab, 4 weeks down the line, I'm out. Literally, the gate tell I did the bula so. Gotcha. I'm almost right thing. Can't have phone. I get to back so down back. Oga Prince, where are you? Nahana, think about it well. When Okaya, Okaro study drugs for 5 or 6 years, while programming for 4 weeks. So those 3 years after my rehab, when I wasn't working, I would do so much that you would look at me here and you'll literally see my heartbeat. "2015, bro. I'm sitting there in my car. I love that car. Every addict has something that they cherish that you cannot take. Even if things go bad, they will not do anything to it. I'm thinking, no, let me call my sister. She comes, she's like, nah, dude, no, I'm not giving you money. But okay, sharp. So begin to yeah. But she said, and now come there, get out petrol. Mari must go home. Gives me at the toll gate. I want to toll gate because toll gate to go home come at 2 something. So by the time I get to Unisa Pitor, I want to clip it. I'm not going home. Slowly, turn back. Went and bought. She knows, she finds out that I'm back here. She's like, oh, dude, they're not knowing they were busy organizing a rehab for me. Again. So they tell me, okay, boy, we're just gonna go see it. Me, get okay, cool, sharp, get in the car, get there. As I sit down, but I literally in 2 meters long, so, and 2 logs. One guy sits aside, one guy sits aside. So one pulls my feet and they chain me now. Kabloma di chain until bra. 3 months. Growara tsona, ke hlapa ka tsona. Ke a toilet ka tsona. Ke tshumyaga di chain. To think or my addiction really that bad or was sent around for the chain it's amazing. I was 31 at this time now. And all jokes aside, I had had enough. Because now I was locked up for about 19 years, 21. People who can still come out and make something out of themselves. I have lost 10, 11 years now. Whoever actually drugs, that first line and the feeling, you will never get it again. People who overdose or people are chasing that first high. It is gone. Yes, you can educate people about a lot of things.
So there are still those who don't believe he's totally off, and because of his bubbly personality.
But ke tseba gore tsela e nkisang mo the same road.
Let's learn from one another. Let's learn from one another.
The inspiration behind starting my own company, besides being miserable, I was going to a job, Spanish Takane. So I'm sitting in the taxi and I turn around. And then I like these 3 boys, and there's one who's sitting on the side. His friend just finished on me inject. Here on the vein here. This dude is falling down. If this guy doesn't see him and accidentally does this thing is gonna pierce through his neck. So I whistled and the guy took it out. And actually I could say that was my first life that I actually saved. Took out my phone, went into Facebook, and then by the time I was spanning, which is an hour's drive, I had a group of 15 members. It was a Friday, the Monday I had my first case. And a year later now, we're sitting on 85 kids saved. It's been a roller coaster. It's not a, you have to have passion for this. And that is where my understanding why I needed to be where I am right now.
We had separated, at some point. And how we literally reunited was when he had seen me, at my worst. He looked at me and he was like, yo, KB Ndwana, you look 50 years old. You know what I mean? And this is not the KB Ogimitivan,
KB Kitlanelena, at some spot to go Alex. And I'm looking like, come on, Dimon. Are sure, KB. And I just started. So
I then reunited with him again, whereby I literally got the helping hand. then sent through to rehab by him, because the fact that like ubo no repleke him to sit and hey chief, you're my friend, agbadly we down the drain.
And then it took a while. I think it took maybe a couple of months or weeks or something, up until he called me. He's been trying to get hold of me. And he says, Dumzana, I need to get help. And called the mom, we spoke to him. And yeah, now we helped him out 2 months, 3 months. He also went and he came back. And he also started working with me with fetching people.
He's established like an organization whereby they assist kids and literally take them to, to rehab. And, I'm literally there, like Clare, maybe his right-hand man. I literally can't thank him enough, Today, because of what he did for me, I always now want to give a helping hand. And then I get to see what are the results of literally going there and literally just detoxing and just getting this thing out of your body.
So there are still those who don't believe he's totally off, and because of his bubbly personality.
Now, I believe the reason why 5 years, because next month it will be 5 years clean. Like, how do you do it? I say because I work with people that so every day. It's not like no, but it's the same road.
What are the street to Sakahore? Ha relata banaba, these kids, right? You also motivate them, right? And then it also then gives you some form of encouragement, or rather some hope. There's no way that, why would I maybe perhaps want to relapse? Why would I maybe perhaps want to go back, to, the life that I used to live then, and come on and take it to Savatwan? And you literally contradicting yourself, I mean, I could literally say, me working with Itumeleng on Word of the Street is literally, that would literally be the first code of conduct. Why would you want to use if you're helping somebody else? It just doesn't make sense.
How do I feel about drugs? I didn't care about them, but now I do. They change lives, they damage you, they mess up with your brain, your concentration span, they make you paranoid. And I think for a while they make you happy, but you want more. It's like, it's evil.